Lori, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. No problem.
All righty. Soon you'll be celebrating your silver anniversary here with TSS, but your trek into the volume photography world started a little earlier than that. If you could tell us a little bit about what you were doing before your time with TSS.
Sure. Back in 1987 or so, I got a little part-time job with a photo company that did schools and sports, and I loved it. Absolutely found that I wanted to do this as my career. So I kind of started my own little in-home portrait business back in 1988. Did things, just pictures of babies and families and things like that. No major sports. Probably the first year or so that I did that. And then I had a league approach me and asked me if I could do their sports pictures. And
of course you said yes.
Of course I said yes. And didn't really know how I was going to do that, but we figured that out. And here we are still doing this, 34 years later. In 1996, I did that little side business of portraits in home by myself for 8 years. And then in 1996, I was approached by a friend who was already a TSS franchisee and was looking to grow his business, and asked if we wanted to kind of combine and do the leagues and sports and schools and things that TSS did. So we did that, and basically the rest is history. So we love what we do and have been doing it for a very long time.
You certainly have, and very successfully, I might add.
Thank you.
How you're doing things today is very different than how you were doing them 25, 34 years ago. Heck, how we're doing things today is probably different than how we were doing them 6 months or a year ago.
Yes.
Photography is really a technology-driven industry. What are some of the processes, solutions that you've come to love and have made your day-to-day a little different and certainly a little easier?
Well, obviously, being in this business so long, we started with film. There were no digital cameras and no computers to electronically transmit your orders. So things were much more complex back in the day, we say. We took our pictures on film, we hand wrote our orders, we sent them to the lab through the mail with the rolls of film. 2 or 3 weeks later, they would come back to us and we would check them in and make sure everything was good and deliver them by hand in bulk to the leagues and the groups that we did photos for. So since then, of course, digital photography has become a thing and we don't have any more film. And computers are, a great help, and the technology that we have is awesome. We started finding that we could transmit our orders electronically. We could type them in on the computer, cut down on turnaround time for the leagues. And currently, I love the processes that TSS has in effect, the photo match and view first, and all of that has really cut down on our back office work, cut down on staff and labor costs, because really when we do a photo shoot using those programs now, where we just when we get back to the office, we're done with the work. The back office work is non-existent, really. So that just gives us more free time, and it makes the customers happy because things are so quickly turned around to them, and basically it eliminates a lot of extra work that we used to have to do.
Well, you're not making any money if you're in the office there, so
Correct.
We want to try to keep you out of the office as often as we can.
Correct.
You've grown your business year over year. How do you stay motivated, through all these years?
Well, I'm personally lucky in that I absolutely love what I do. So I don't really consider it a job, or work. It's fun. I love it. The motivation that keeps me going other than that is the flexibility in my schedule. I'm working for myself. So that gives me more free time and to personally balance, life, because life happens. We raised a young family during all this time, and still managed to run a very successful business. And I absolutely love what I do, and working for myself and having that flexibility. That's the main thing. And it's a very lucrative business.
It is. We're very lucky. A lot of times we know our schedules weeks, if not months in advance.
Correct.
So when you do have those family obligations, or you want to take the vacation, or you want to do something else, whatever it might be, we are able to plan things out and still give the organizations that we work with what they need. But at the same time, we have that balance that isn't available in a lot of industries. So we're very lucky there.
Right.
Last question here. For individuals that are in your shoes now, or individuals that are in your shoes 34 years ago, any advice for them that are looking at TSS, an opportunity to purchase this franchise?
Yes, actually, I mean, joining up with TSS was the smartest thing I ever did. And at that time, I had already been running this little business on the side for about 8 years, and I didn't have any support or training or anything like that. I basically had to figure out every part of the business on my own. Just the support alone and the training that is offered by being part of a franchise is awesome. I still feel like I'm 34 years later, I'm still learning new things, because things change. Technology for sure changes. So yeah, I mean, getting into the franchise has been probably the best decision we ever made. Helps to have the corporate marketing and training, and just the camaraderie with the conferences with other franchisees. We learn a lot about our businesses and how to run our businesses from the franchisees, even at the conferences that we attend and things like that. So just the support and marketing and all around family feel of that big family of a franchise is awesome. I would
awesome.
definitely say do it. I wish I had done that from the start, but I didn't know about it.
Well, we got you aboard eventually, and we're certainly very happy we did. Lori, thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem.